Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first and last episode 1.
Welcome.
Yes, I am your host, Pretend Bread Boy number 1, Garrett. And sitting in front of me, in front of the all-black microphone, is the Pretend Bread Boy himself, Nick.
Yeah.
The man who needs no introduction.
Of course. What's on today's agenda, Mr. Garrett?
So for those of you who don't know, this is the first podcast that we've done. Hold on, I gotta take a sip. I'm a little nervous. All right, so
sipping Mountain Dew while we're in the Mountain Dew shirt.
Yes, wearing a Mountain Dew shirt. So we are both game developers, recent graduates, and we are like our own indie developers.
Yes.
I don't know.
We've published one game so far.
Yeah, we've only published one game. It's Aqueous, like Aqueous Adventure. What is it? Adventures of a Water Droplet. It's on iOS platforms only.
Sorry, Android.
Yeah, sorry, guys.
Too many platforms.
But if you're hearing this, you're probably listening to this on iPod or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So.
All right, so so now that we talked a little bit about ourselves, we're gonna get into this. We don't know how long each episode is gonna be because we're just starting this. So first things first, Mr. Nick, we have our first topic of the day, and that is, what do you think the top 5 video game mistakes are made with marketing? Like, what do you think the top 5? Top 4?
Yeah,
top 3? We're changing it to 3? All right.
What
do you think the top 3 marketing mistakes are today? Like, with all publishers or developers?
I think it starts with publishers, mainly, Activision. It kind of seems like Activision doesn't really put forth the truth besides Call of Duty, of course,
Right, dude?
To be honest. I mean, Destiny was... A lot of people think Activision's the reason Destiny sucks, but it's Bungie.
It's Bungie. I mean, like, I went to the last two E3s.
Yes.
The first one, they were like, "Oh, check out this. We have this cool game. We have like fresh physics or whatever." And they showed like this crazy demo. Oh, I just hit the mic, dude. This is the crazy setup. So like they showed this first demo, the same one that was actually at the press conference at E3 when they were on the stage with Sony. Basically them just going through the first level of the Cosmodrome. And yeah, they were like, everywhere you can see, you can go to.
I remember that. Yep.
I mean, that to me is like one of the biggest like marketing mistakes ever. You can't tell your consumers that you're going to be able to just travel far distances. I don't know. I just think that was kind of janky. I mean, now Destiny has become what Destiny is now. It's just like it's becoming
a rinse and repeat.
A vast wasteland of nothing. Yeah.
And I think Activision is in part, 99%, that's their fault because Activision supplies the money, of course, and they do the advertising as well. And they advertise Destiny as this game that everybody was excited for, go anywhere, have a Borderlands feature where you can have multiple different weapons and loot systems.
They also really bragged about like the $500 million budget or whatever.
Exactly,
but I think that went to marketing, and that went to all these commercials that you saw, and I don't know, I feel like those commercials were like false advertising.
Exactly.
Like, do you think that people should like buy into that, or you think that that's normal?
No, I think gamers today shouldn't believe commercials. And as you know, I mean, the only truthful game out there that I see that's marketed well is Call of Duty, because it's a straight A and B game, right? You have a campaign and you have point and shoot multiplayer. When they advertise their new multiplayer maps, they show the maps,
right?
They show the new guns, they show zombies or whatever.
It's always zombies
or aliens, whatever it may be that game, and that's it. It's straight A. When you have games like Destiny, it's the truth is that the follower is going to be
Yeah, who's the follower? Who's the traveler?
Exactly. I mean, there's a lot of unanswered questions in Destiny. And
why do I have this white guy following me, but he's like a little square or something? I don't know what he is. He's like a triangle man.
The ghost, right?
The ghost, yes.
Yeah, and then the ghost was like,
they don't explain him. He's just a light of the traveler.
Yeah, the ghost was made, according to the story, was part of the traveler, and he was given to the Guardians to open doors. He's a glorified janitor door with all the keys.
He's like the skeleton key of every planet.
And then he just sits there when you die, and hopefully another Guardian comes and picks him up. I mean,
I guess he represents your soul, though.
Yeah, I guess. Like that's a good interpretation of it. Yeah, but also, so that's got to be number one first and foremost.
Yeah, like over marketing and over advertising,
exactly.
false features for sure though. Like especially like we said, like the whole you can do anything you want. Like advertising a game as it's like this crazy open world experience with like vast RPG elements with with what do they call those games? Oh, man, that's terrible. MMOs. There you go. I was calling the blank.
It definitely has MMO elements to it. Massive multiplayer online usually has a lot of rinse and repeat, right? Same maps.
Well, I mean, only 16 players can be in each planet itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks, like especially with the tower. 16 players can only be there. 8 to 16, I think. Yeah. I think it's 8 or 16.
And then I mean, a lot of the advertising was the tower, right? Mm-hmm. A lot of people were excited about the tower because it's like, oh, it's like this hub where you can, chat with your friends and go and sit and have a drink or go to your place of, and it ended up being just a small, vast area with 2 ports where you can.
Yeah. Definitely.
I mean, and there's a lot of elements that Destiny lost. I mean, they're making mistakes that games corrected 10 years ago.
Oh man.
Fallout 3 is one of the games. I mean, they have more of a randomization of loot than Destiny does, and loot is a 21st century game.
Oh my gosh,
console,
I know.
So,
yeah. I mean, that's definitely number one for sure. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. What would you say? I would say number 2 would be something like, like pitching that something's going to be a certain way and not really follow through with that, following through.
Oh yeah. So
so it's going to be available on this platform or this platform, and it's not. It's only available on one platform, like the new Tomb Raider game. That's the most confusing marketing strategy ever. You know what I mean? They're like, hey, it's going to be on Xbox only. Oh, later, by the way, it's actually on all platforms, but later. I don't know. I think things like that.
That has a lot to do with companies trying to buy and sell whole game companies for their sole purpose of making money. So example is, I mean, what was it? Call of Duty, right? Is only Xbox exclusive, but not really exclusive.
Oh yeah,
they just get everything a month ahead of time. So I mean, and that's a good thing on Call of Duty's part because they'll be losing money. And I really don't get console-based games that are only stuck on one console because number one, they're losing so much money.
Titanfall.
So much money.
So much money. Like an example, would be Titanfall and would be the Sunset Overdrive game. It would have sold millions just on PlayStation, exactly. Just alone.
People, I mean, and that's the thing I think companies are trying to do because they want more console sales. I mean, it doesn't matter how many exclusives you add to that console. It depends on the console whether it's going to make a lot. I mean, no one's going to buy a broken Xbox One like when they first came out just because it has Master Chief Collection on it. They're going to wait until it's fixed. So
that's why I didn't buy the Xbox right away. I waited a good year until Titanfall came out. I mean, I don't regret it, but I mean, Titanfall is still a good game. Master Chief Collection is still screwed. I don't play that. I'm only playing my PlayStation now because both games are just completely dead. And I think when major companies like Microsoft or Sony say things about exclusivity and all sorts of things like that with content and other things, I think that's what kills their brand as a full. Why can't they all just say, oh, by the way, everyone's gonna be able to play with each other, you know what I mean? Exactly. Or something like that.
And that's another reason. That's one of the reasons why cross-platforming. It's not gonna happen anytime soon.
I know,
because that would eliminate the console race, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That would say it doesn't matter what console you have, just buy the one that's the cheapest because all the games and you can play across. So I mean all
the games you can just play for this.
Yeah, and the thing is, I mean, I think the only cross-platforming that should have happened already is PC, though. PC
it should be PC to something, PC to PlayStation or PC to Xbox One or PlayStation 4. I mean, I understand that networking thing is probably hard, but I mean, you've got games that can be played simultaneously, like the Elder Scrolls is going to be able to play between PC and Xbox One. Why can't they get PlayStation to do Elder Scrolls or all 3 platforms to go to play with each other? Because the worlds are just smaller. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that has a lot to do. I don't know. I think it's still a money thing with everybody. PC sales are always going to be lower than console sales these days just because a lot of games don't even go to PC anymore. So
yeah, only certain games are on Steam.
And if they do,
Origin.
they come 6 months later, and they're completely different most of the time.
That's so true. Like I don't know. I have PC. I have an Alienware, like super custom, and I have a Dell. I have 3 Macs, but it's just like there's no like good games to actually play that I can't play on a console. I mean, I'm a console gamer myself. I never got into the keyboard like side of things. No, literally, if I'm playing on a PC, I'm still using an Xbox controller. Like I can't do it. I don't know. I can't not play with it. I know people are like, "Oh, well, you're just a noob and you just or whatever." It's like, no, I don't understand I don't understand the fascination with using like 1,000 buttons versus keys versus
7.
just like 6 buttons that you can do the same thing with. But like maybe I just have to turn my sensitivity up because you're faster at typing than I can actually click a trigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I don't know. I just think things like that they just drive me nuts.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Number 3. I don't know. What would you think? I would say going back to like Call of Duty, like especially in Black Ops 2, they did this big time. They were like, well, we've listened to the fans and we're doing this. Mm-hmm. Like, I think that's another big marketing fail when it comes to like Activision or even studios making the games, like saying like they've listened to the fans, but clearly they're just adding things that they think a small majority of people want. Like, sure, Call of Duty, millions of people play it, but they only listen to like 10,000 of those people, and they totally screw the game. Same thing with Destiny. Like especially with the newest going back to Destiny. I know I hate going back to it all the time, but it's just like the biggest reference of like marketing fails. Like, we're listening to you guys, like buy our game, but they're not listening to anybody.
What's the biggest fail of Destiny? Okay, their newest patch, right? What does it include? It includes, well, you have like syndicates basically that you can join, like different groups. And that's I don't know. I feel like
they took the game down for 3 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours
to add progression slots
that should
in
have
your
been
pause
there
menu.
in day one.
Exactly. I mean, and Destiny doesn't feel complete. It feels like they didn't game test it at all.
Yeah.
There's, we hate to keep using Destiny, but it really is bad when it comes to listening to anybody. The fans. What do the fans actually ask for, right? What the number 2 thing that fans ask for in Destiny is matchmaking for raids, right? Number 1 is going to be using more than one exotic. What's the point of having 200 exotics and you can only use
2? You can only use your armor piece and then 1 weapon.
Yeah, I mean, I understand the OP thing, but when you're playing online, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're all balanced unless you're playing Iron Banner.
Yeah, but everything's. I mean, when you play Iron Banner, they can easily limit you. Like Call of Duty, right? When you play League play online, they don't allow certain items.
Yeah, like you can't use certain grenades. No grenades. Yeah,
and no UAVs.
Nothing.
So I mean, they could easily do that in Destiny and eliminate the whole. Because I mean, people, and then on top of that, people always ask for what's the number 1 thing in MMOs, right? Unlimited vaults,
unlimited space
in your vault, in your inventory, so that you can. I mean, with all that loot items, you need to have space, so you don't have to delete. You know, so they haven't listened to that. They decided to put in the progression bars for the syndicates or whatever they're called, clans or like. Groups.
Yeah, I don't know what they're called. I actually forgot because like I remember them talking about it in the beginning, but I totally forgot about the names.
Yeah, I mean,
or squads. I don't know.
That's what they decided to spend their time on, instead of nobody cares about that. Honestly,
that's so true. Nobody's like, oh, I'm gonna get my dead orbit ranked 100 because I want this armor piece. It's like you can get that same armor piece in the Crucible, and you can get that same armor piece from the Vanguard, or just a random drop in a mission, and it drives me nuts.
And what was the other thing? They added more damage with shotguns to AI, and it's like, yeah, I mean, shotguns are already dominant as hell. Like, you can kill a boss with like 3 shots, but we're getting besides the topic, But
and another thing that I think drives me nuts about this huge fail about like it's about you, the fans, and about the players is going back to Call of Duty and in similar games like I'm trying to think of another game that I was just playing the other day. Man, Assassin's Creed or Call of Duty. I know they're 2 different completely Drive Club. I know they're 2 completely different games, but on top of that, like this new map that you just paid $15 for is reimagined in a new 21st century age. It's like I don't want to play WMD reskinned to to be like a nuclear war zone. You know what I mean? Yeah. Or I don't want to play like from Black Ops. You know, I don't want to play. Oh, what's another Nuketown again? Because I don't care. I mean, I know it's a cool map, but it's like
Flower Town.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I just think that reskinning a whole map or even weapons is lazy.
Very lazy.
And it's I know it's a huge just like snatch and grab for cash, you know, but to me that's like totally killing your fan base, and it's totally killing your
I mean, and
your brand.
Exactly. I mean, and their what is it? Their season passes dropped a lot.
A lot of people $49.
No, I mean as far as people buying it. Nobody really buys it anymore because it's like most of the maps are reskinned from the last game.
Yeah, most of the maps are like the same as another map.
Another terrible fan base game is what? Drive Club. How many times? How many people have been waiting for the free version on PlayStation Plus?
2 years. 2 years since the console.
And now
was
they just threw it out, basically. Yeah. So.
Well, no, actually, I think as of yesterday they came back and said it's still in the works. Like.
It's the game already came out. The free version should already be out. It's just it's a scaled down version of the real game. So
I just think they don't know what good cars to take out of.
Yeah, I mean, and then those are going back to that. Drive Club is like hitting all three worst marketing and fan base fails. Period. I mean, Drive Club was supposed to be this driver experience where you can play with your friends, but
look at the leather.
Yeah, it ended up being
carbon fiber.
You know what the crazy thing is though? Driving games, you want to be able to race against your friend, right? So what they did was
not anymore.
Yeah, they said, you know what? Join a party with your friend, and then you just jump into a random race with all these people.
Yeah, definitely.
And they're most of the time they're different car locks. So it's like only Paganis or only Porsches or only United States cars.
Yeah.
And that's why Forza destroys everybody because it's like
Forza is a good game.
They have classes, right? So C-class cars only. So you can use any car in that class, no matter, and that's a good way to do it. But yeah.
All right. Next topic, let's move along, yeah. So for the next topic, why do you think like gamers in particular buy repackaged games? Like basically what I mean, like remastered versions, like just upscaled versions of a PlayStation 3 game or an Xbox 360 game. Like, why do you think people continue to buy games they've already played? Or, I mean, I think for me, I've never played Borderlands 2 or pre-sequel. Oh, shoot me. Oh my gosh. Like I know everyone loves that game and everyone compares Destiny to that game, but it's like, I don't know. I've never played it. I think I played the first one and I got to like level 5 on my character and I don't know what happened to the game. I think I got into Call of Duty or something. I don't know. I don't remember what happened. Yeah. I don't remember what I was doing. I don't remember what the game is. I just remember that it's like toony looking. And then everyone's super hyped up about this new Borderlands game. But I think the only good thing I see about like repackaged games is that it comes with all the DLC. But I feel like it screws the people who've already paid like $100 for the extra DLC, and I'm just getting it all for like $25.
Yeah, but I mean at the same time they're 6-year-old games, so as you know, price drops on games a lot, except for Call of Duty, which stays $50 forever.
That's funny because you don't see like Call of Duty repackaged games, which is interesting.
I mean, because they come out with a different one every year, they don't even need to.
I know because we have when PlayStation and Xbox One first dropped, you had like the Tomb Raider that just came out like 3 months beforehand. The new console,
remastered.
Is remastered. I beat that game on my PS3. What was another game that came out right after that?
It was.
There's a few of them.
It was Grand Theft Auto.
It was GTA. Well, that came out recently, like last month, a couple months ago. I don't remember. There's a lot of them that just keep getting remasters. I mean, I know you can. I don't think they should sell them for full retail price again. I don't think just because good job, you got it to 720 or 1080p. I think you should just be able to download them in the store for like $20. Download them. I mean, I know it takes up your space, but I think that totally hurts that brand because people are getting burnt out of it.
Yeah.
I mean. Yeah. I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, unless this specific game comes out, like I'll buy this one. But like everyone has their own like things they want.
I think what they're trying to do also is they're trying to like revitalize the fan base. Like for example, everybody wants BioWare to remaster Mass Effect, all 3 of them, because it was a very great game, very good storyline, very fun to play. the graphics are terrible because it was back then, so they want everything, and that's different. I think it's good to remaster games that are like classics, but not random games like Yakuza 4 or something.
Yeah, or like Sleeping Dogs. That game like tanked. I know they remastered it, but it did not do well at all. It only sold 500,000, maybe even 500,000 copies across the world. And
the thing is, that game was really good. It just had really bad publicity.
I never played it.
No advertising. It was a Chinese version of Grand Theft Auto, but with an actual storyline. You know what I mean? A storyline that you actually get into, and it wasn't about guns. It was all fighting, like Bruce Lee type things, which was fun.
But I feel like the gameplay versus the storyline, they were so intertwined that it made the game super linear. I've only played a little bit of it, but I didn't feel like I had a free roam aspect without the guy calling my cell phone every 5 minutes saying, "Yo, where you at? Come over here. I need your help." Over and over again. You don't see that in Grand Theft Auto. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, GTA 5 is sort of like that. Yeah, but like you said, I mean, they both have free roam. GTA 5 is a lot more things you can do in the open world. Yeah, and then Sleeping Dogs is more of a linear storyline. Story after story. There are little side missions you can do, but that's it. It's nothing big. Yeah, but when it comes to remastering games, I don't know. I think remastering could be good. They just need to pick the games right, I think.
Yeah, because I haven't been impressed. I mean, the only game I'm actually kind of impressed for and excited for is Borderlands, the Handsome Collection, because I've never played 2. I've never played the pre-sequel because it was already... Great. It was already on last gen. They just released it over the summertime last year, which was crazy because we were already into a half a year into the new console's life. Everyone already moved on to the new consoles. So, I mean, that'd be good for all that. I mean, and I guess that goes right into the next topic would be why do people continue to why do they keep selling? Why do the remastered games keep selling? I think it is because a lot of people moved on. They haven't played those games. Yeah. And I think that's what people want.
Yeah. That's a good thing about remaster. It's if say some people like you didn't play Borderlands 2 on the previous consoles. So instead of buying a previous console and picking up a copy, they can just make it available for everybody. But I do think that it should be cheaper than, standard price. The only reason they can get away with it is, like you said, they include all the DLC. For Borderlands,
that's the only selling point of the game, though.
Well, the Handsome Collection, right? It's how much DLC comes with that? It's over $100. Each DLC item.
There's 42 packs. I saw that.
Each DLC is an actual different campaign, which is nuts.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, there's Tiny Tina's Adventure.
I thought it was just new gun packs like Call of Duty.
It's a new campaign.
Get this dragon color.
Crazy enemies, crazy storylines, different worlds even, not even the same universe, which is pretty cool, and that's why Borderlands was popular. Their loot system is amazing. A lot of people even think their loot system should have been... Destiny should have copied their loot system. Well, not copied, but something similar. But yeah, I mean, they sell because they have a fan base, a real fan base. And
I honestly don't think it's because of their fan base. I think a lot of the people move on from it. I think that... I mean, I know it's just my opinion, but I think the only reason these games continue to sell is because, little Johnny over here wants the game, and his mom's gonna buy it for Christmas for him because he never had a PS3 or an Xbox 360, so he's never gonna get to play those games. I think it's good for certain games to continue their momentum, I guess you'd say, or continue their
a GTA.
Yeah, or continue their legacy, but some games just shouldn't continue a legacy. Some games are so bad that they don't need that. I mean, I think Tomb Raider is a perfect reason why you shouldn't buy a repackaged game or a re-up-resed game or whatever they call them nowadays.
I think Tomb Raider it's a campaign game, similar to everybody's really disappointed with Order 1886, right? Those are games that should not be repackaged because there's nothing more to it than the storyline. And they lose sales because once you beat it once, it's kind of boring to play the story over again.
That's true, though. I was actually gonna get into the Order. I haven't gotten it yet, but I'll try to get it pretty soon. And I mean, like you said, that's one of those games that probably shouldn't be remade. I mean, up-resed if there was a PS5 or an Xbox 2 or whatever they're gonna call it next.
Exactly. Xbox 1.5.
Xbox One Slim 2. I don't know. Like I just
Xbox
think that
Core.
Yeah. So, and also like Walking Dead, like I've been playing the Walking Dead, the Telltale's version of Walking Dead. It's actually really deep, and it's like that's one of the games that sure I understand repackaging it and putting all 5 episodes into a single disc because I mean that'll give the players like the younger generation, I guess, to start getting into games that everyone's so critically acclaimed, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like people are like, "Oh, I love this game," blah 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 blah. And now like the younger generation can actually get into it. Like it's a classic or something. Yeah.
Classics, yeah. Or platinums, or what they call it, right? On Xbox.
Yeah.
Platinums.
Platinums, or yeah, right. It doesn't make sense. Everything's green for Xbox. I understand, like remastered.
Platinum hit. That's what it's called.
Platinum hits.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah. All right. So I think we kind of put those 2 in one topics. So our second to last one, like, why do you think that developers continue to make the same mistakes for games that they've like new games they've made versus the old games they've made, or even seeing developers talk to each other, which is so interesting. Like, why don't they say, you know what, like so and so totally screwed up. Let's not put that in our game, or let's not even attempt that, because now I see so many games having the same structure or the same
mistakes for sure.
Yeah, like the same like loot systems, or like the same selling or whatever mechanics. It's like all the same, or the fighting mechanics are exactly the same. Yeah. when they shouldn't be. There's some games that like just shouldn't.
A good example of that is definitely Drive Club. It's a driving game, right? They claim to be arcade-ish, which is okay. Some people like arcade driving, but they made massive mistakes when especially with matchmaking, and nothing's being everything that's promised wasn't actually given. Right. And there's previous racing games that actually handled all that. I mean, you should learn from other developers' mistakes, and I think a lot of games don't do that. Destiny,
like look at like Forza or something. Like if you want to make a good racing game, like go talk to the guys that make Forza.
Well, think about it. What do people like these days, right? What's the number one thing people want in their gameplay? They want
like consistency.
They want consistency, and they want customization. They want to make the game theirs. Just the same with Call of Duty, right? Why are the guns so popular? Because they can make it their own. Their own skins. They can make their own emblems. Forza, right? You can take a Honda Civic and make it go 200 miles an hour. You know what I mean?
Like the Crew.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the Crew's. I mean,
to me, I don't like it. It's too cartoony for me. It's too much. It's too much like a Borderlands style racing game. I don't like it.
I mean, the graphics weren't amazing, of course. But I think the Crew handled a lot of the stuff that Drive Club missed a lot.
Right.
The Crew is really amazing. You can drive with your partner in open world, pick up random races, race to points. There was customization in your car, not a lot, but some at least.
On Drive Club?
No, for the Crew.
On the Crew,
Drive Club, it's an arcade game, but they made it so where you couldn't even touch the performance. So basically, the fastest car in the game everybody has when you race online. Car. Right? When you
here's your stock car. Put a paint job on. It's yours.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
That's why car games went away from that though, because it creates. Let's say you have the fastest car in the games, like a Pagani or something, right? Everybody has that car when you race online because it's the fastest car. Why would you race anything less? I know.
I'll race my Mustang against your Bugatti.
Yeah, versus Forza, you can have a Mustang, but it goes 250 miles an hour. If you customize it the way you want. So I mean,
like I think a game like what's that game that just came? Dying Light. We've been playing a lot of Dying Light.
Yeah, amazing.
Okay? It's like a really good game, but
really
I think
solid.
that a thing that they totally screwed up on was totally leaving the X button to do nothing but fight off zombies. Like if you keep tapping X, the guy that's about to bite you is gonna get off of you. I mean, using R1 to jump, like that was totally throwing me off. And ever since I'm playing any other game,
you push R1 to jump.
I'm pushing R1 to jump, and I'm shooting grenades. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm throwing grenades, or I'm like e-braking around a corner. I don't want to do that,
Yeah.
I think that was a total ridiculous, and not letting the player change where the button is, the button layout. You have like southpaw and default. That's it. Nobody uses southpaw. That's like all original Xbox. I don't know what they call it nowadays. Like the original Xbox, that was like Halo there. Halo 1 was like all southpaw controls. And now it's like nobody uses those unless you're stuck in the old ways, which nobody is. But I don't know. I think that was poor on their choice, and I think that was another reason using the same mistake of not keeping it consistent, using X to jump. X is always jump, or A is always jump, or something on a controller, X or A is always
whatever button
jump.
at the bottom of the diamond.
Whatever is at the bottom of your button pad. Because we're primarily playing PlayStation 4, so I'm always referencing things as PlayStation and X or whatever.
I mean, and those are some of the mistakes that I think what they were trying to do though is just trying to make it arcadish. Because a lot of the arcade games back in the day were R1 to jump or R1 to use a grappling hook or something.
But to use a grappling hook versus actually jumping, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. But
to use a grappling hook in Dying Light, you have to use like L2 or L1, and that's like totally weird. It's like
it's L2. It's L2.
It's L2. Yeah, it's like that's like the secondary whatever.
Yeah, secondary.
You know.
I do think though Dying Light corrected all the mistakes previous zombie games made. Period.
Like what's that other game that's on Xbox only?
Riptide. What is it called?
No, not a Dead Island game. The one that
Left 4 Dead.
No. Well, not just Left 4 Dead. It has Left 4 Dead like moments. You know what I mean?
Resident Evil.
No. You're playing as that guy, that Hank guy, or whatever his name is, Hank, and it's like everything you make is like, oh, I have a chainsaw.
Oh, Dead or Alive.
No.
Dead or.
I don't know, man. I don't remember the name of it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's that game that takes place on Xbox, and that it's in any city you want. I don't know where the cities are. They had one that was...
And you can make like
chainsaws, shoot guns that shoot more chainsaws. I mean, like, that's stupid. I think those games are like so ridiculous. And they had like that crazy...
They're really hard to play as well.
Yeah, and they had that... Like when you're driving into a crowd of zombies, your car's not going to slow down.
Yeah.
A car's going to plow through people like normal. I understand reversing, you're going to get piled up behind zombies like in The Walking Dead. Like reversing and getting stuck.
Yeah, exactly.
And somehow surviving, fighting your way out of that.
Yeah, I think the best thing that Dying Light did though was their weapon and their spoilers.
Spoilers.
Not really.
If you have never played Dying Light, which is kind of
the zombie thriller.
Yeah, kind of not actually true. I mean, I know 95% of people have played Dying Light, unless you just play Call of Duty all day.
Well, Dying Light's ahead of Call of Duty right now in sales, which is nuts.
I think it came out at a perfect time though.
It did.
I just have a few complaints about that game, but not too much. I mean, just the controls, like I said earlier, and other than that, yeah, it has fixed a lot of things that
especially
other zombie
the weapon
games
breaking system.
Yeah, like
what was it in even Dead Island? It was like 2 hits and your sword would like snap in half.
It's like my golf club does not bend after punching a zombie one time or swinging at a zombie.
I think, and then having the set amount of times it can be
repaired.
Is a good thing. Repaired. And actually seeing the repairs on the weapon.
he's like duct taping it.
It's actually seeing the repairs is a nice touch.
Yeah.
I think I don't know, and I think the zombie difficulties are really good. How night the ambient, the way the zombies react at night versus day is really good.
Yeah, I think the whole time changing thing is totally awesome and unique. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's totally a new thing that not many games have used before. Like the whole element. Like I've seen something like that in like Zelda or
exactly.
Like the whole between day and night transition.
Dynamic cycles. Yeah,
the dynamic of the actual rotation of the Earth. I mean, I think that's cool. Sun up, sun down, waiting.
Even
but
sunsets.
The nighttime is like way shorter than daytime, though.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It's ridiculous.
If nighttime was the same, I think nobody would nobody would survive. Everybody would just sleep. And having the option to skip night is really cool. Yeah. Or actually skip to nighttime. Dying Light has corrected a lot of that. On top of that, the variety of weapons is like nuts. I didn't expect.
There's a ton.
I didn't expect that. And
there's not that many. There's only 3 guns in the whole game, though. You have the German 9mm pistol, and then you have the. Actually, there's 4, because then you've got the 2 different types of rifles, and then you've got the shotgun. That's it. Shotgun. There's only 4 different types of guns in the game, and there's a million melee weapons. A billion. I mean, like there's pickaxes, machetes, golf clubs,
Kalashnikovs, knives, and swords.
Like what are they called? Little short knives for kitchen.
Even kitchen knives.
Yeah, kitchen knives.
Butcher knives.
I mean, no one's gonna use a kitchen
machetes.
knife. Like some
switchblades.
Yeah, like samurai swords and katanas, and then like Roman swords.
If we were in zombies, I'd be using a katana all day.
I don't think you would. Yeah, okay, Michonne, relax.
I'm serious, dude. They don't break. Come on, they're made of like 50,000 layers of steel.
Yeah, I don't know about that, but whatever. I mean, I think that's a game that has its flaws, and it's a new mistake, but it fixed other mistakes. You know what I mean?
A lot.
And
storyline.
Yeah, storyline is actually really deep too.
It's really good.
Another thing I've noticed is that a lot of games, their storyline really lacks because they're focusing on the multiplayer, and that's a consistent mistake. I think more people are getting tired of the multiplayer, especially like for Call of Duty. I know a lot of people are buying the game now just for the storyline. I mean, Advanced Warfare.
It was really good though.
Yeah,
it was really
good. You have main headlining actors like Kevin Spacey in there.
That made the game a lot better.
That makes the game like amazing. It's like you're basically playing a House of Cards, but with guns. You know what I mean? Like that, he played the same role, but instead of being a senator, he was a CEO of a private military corporation.
PMC.
Yeah, it's like that's. I don't know. I think that having shorter storylines or repetitive storylines and not focusing on those individuals who want to play the story. I understand it's a small portion, but a lot of people don't want to play online with people anymore because it's full of cheaters, Like we were just playing Call of Duty last night.
Yeah.
And it's like, how do you kill me when I'm already way gone? Yeah, I don't know. It's like
the one glitch
shooting through the bullets or like the repetitive, how do you have 2 kills but you have the best kill streak already? You know what I mean? Like things like that. I think those are mistakes that they need to either take out or replace or do something with it.
I mean, a lot of people could argue Call of Duty is the same storyline with a different coat of paint.
Yeah,
it's always
most of them are the same.
It's always you're fighting this guy you thought he was your friend, and then they end up betraying you, and then they have some type of nuclear weapon or some new weapon.
Who was the bad guy in Modern Warfare? The guy with the bald head. Makarov or something. He gets killed.
He has one arm. Blows his arm off.
Yeah. And his son or whatever the other guy is. I don't know. I don't remember. I haven't played that game in forever. But
I think Advanced Warfare had a lot of different elements. They even had a sneaking element.
I think that was the first original Call of Duty storyline though, out of all of them.
Yeah.
Like Ghost was like stupid. It's like, oh, go rescue your friends because the bad guys took them. It's like
typical. Yeah.
Why do I gotta go to these ridiculously broken cities to go save my friends? I don't care. Let's leave them. I mean, most companies will just leave them. I mean, I think going and go find somebody, or it's just the typical like Mario situation. Like, oh, your princess is stolen. Go rescue her. Yeah. Zelda is the same way.
That hasn't changed.
You know what I mean?
Time, so, but I think the dynamics of the actual same storyline. I think Call of Duty actually made it really well this time. I mean, they added some sneaking elements in there.
Mm-hmm.
They even added the hover bike, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. But you can only use that when you're floating over the water because you can't swim. Because your suit's too heavy.
Yeah, but I think there's a lot of cool elements. Like at the end when you're using the spoilers. Like at the end when you're using the massive like exosuit with the minigun. That was pretty cool. I mean, different dynamics. But in the end, it's just, like you said, if you look at the general storyline, it's always the same.
Right.
Because they haven't. I mean, it's movies too. Everything's recycled until someone comes up with a genius new thing.
That's true. Well, no, like I just saw John Wick.
John Wick was
the movie's nuts.
It was nuts.
That was an original storyline.
Yeah, that was crazy.
I mean, someone killed his dog. I mean, come on. I mean,
his wife gave him the dog.
His wife gave him the dog. I mean, spoilers. I mean, you haven't seen the movie.
We should have said spoilers first.
Actually, they killed the dog. They didn't steal him. They broke his neck actually, and he was like all sad.
Okay, Garrett.
Sorry, I'm getting off track.
Okay, Garrett. What about indie games?
Oh yeah. So the last topic we have for the day.
Indie.
So, indie games. Why we think that they will actually like take over the market, especially with AAA games. From what I've been seeing is that AAA games have been making the biggest like fails ever in the last couple games,
especially new gen. Yeah,
this generation.
What was it Destiny?
Well, no, Destiny was fine. I think it was just like people got burnt out because it's too repetitive. But it's not. Destiny was like not broken when they started.
What's the letdowns?
Okay, so you've got Drive Club
for sure.
You've got The Order,
of course.
Dang, dude, I had a whole bunch. Oh, Killzone Shadowfall, Assassin's Creed Unity.
Same thing.
Yeah, Watch Dogs was terrible. Oh my gosh, it was so bad. It was so hyped up. I was so excited for that game. Yeah. I even made all those movie trailers for it.
That's right.
I was so stoked.
Yeah, dude. I mean. And that's the problem.
It's just like letdown after letdown after letdown, and it's like
that's another thing.
Nobody can get it right.
Indie games actually come out and they do it right. I feel like companies have more pressure because they're on a money basis.
Yeah, and indie developers, you see,
So
the only time you see an indie developer ask for money is when they're trying to publish their game onto main consoles and they're on Kickstarter.
PSN store.
Yeah, they're on Kickstarter or they're on crowdfund or crowdsourcing or whatever.
Yeah,
and
they're trying to get to Xbox Live.
Yeah, they're trying to get it up there because they want everyone to see their games. I think that like things like Indiecade, which is held right down the street from my house over here, you know, in downtown Culver City. California, Los Angeles. Boo. Boo. No, I mean, I think things like Indiecade and Indiecade East, they're like the place to be now. I mean, they are charging a fee to get in, like E3 does.
$900 though.
Unless you're a developer and you get in for free, you have to submit your game first. But I think that little small like conventions like that are what are bringing like more gamers to certain consoles. I mean, I know Nintendo and PlayStation are huge indie supporters. I mean, Xbox is trying to weasel themselves back in, but they're not really indie focused. I know Xbox 360, like every indie game came out on Xbox 360 arcade. Like every indie game.
That's an 8-year console though, so
I know, but now everyone's switched over to
Xbox One.
PC and PlayStation 4 and Nintendo. Like, there's so many indie games coming out on Nintendo now.
And indie games bring a fresh new look at games too.
Yeah, like look at Shovel Knight. Shovel Knight's a really good game. I mean, I was playing that on my cousin's PC, and I was really impressed. I mean, it's very like old school Mario, like from like the NES days, and it also brings in like new features like Metal Slug in it and certain games. I don't know if you've played that game. I don't know if you've played Shovel Knight, but I played it. It was actually a really good game, and it's like super 8-bit, and you can have up to 4 players like play simultaneously, like doing their own thing. You know, I think that's a good example of like great games. You know, like Journey, they're an indie developer. They're not Sony exclusive, I think, unless Sony bought them. I'm not actually 100% sure, but even like that game company.
Dude, what's that game that's coming out? What's it called? No Man's Sky?
No Man's...
Looks amazing.
Yeah, No Man's Sky. They're
amazing.
that British developer.
Yeah, looks amazing.
I mean, that's an indie game, and it's like basically on Destiny's level. Like
it's what Destiny should be.
Yeah, it makes infinite universes. I mean,
infinite.
I mean, they said that it would take you like 10 billion years to get to every planet that's actually like on the algorithm of the game.
And that's the same thing with Borderlands, right? They have 32 gazillion guns. Possible?
But that's not an indie game. I mean, I know that's like an idea that everybody should go after, though.
That's what I'm saying. So I mean,
you know what I mean? Like something that's like amazing. Like how can an how can like an indie developer take the risks? I know that they have employees too, and they have they don't have the money. Dang, this chair's loud, dude. You got the comfortable chair. My ass hurts. No, so like the like how they have. I know they have employees. They have like 1 or 2 things, and they have a small budget. You know, but they can continue to like progress and advance the culture of like games now.
Another great indie game, PSN, was the first one we had.
Outlast?
No, that was
the
too.
First indie game I played on PlayStation.
One? It's like the 3-bit in a circle shooter. What is it called? You have like the little planes.
Oh, Resogun.
Resogun is amazing.
Resogun is
so fun.
I think it's the best game on PlayStation. I think it is.
The best indie game so far.
Best game on PlayStation, Resogun.
And then their recent update is create your own ships now.
Yeah, they're updating. They updated
create your own ships. Yeah,
like last week they did that.
Yeah, so basically you have a 8-bit creator.
I have not played that game for like 3 months.
I think we should play.
Oh, we should play tonight.
Create your own ships. They have a 8-bit creator now where you use cubes and you can create any shape you want. So I mean, it's really cool. Really refreshing. Really creative. I mean, it's a oval shooter, which is really, I mean, it's really weird at first. You have to kind of get used to it, but it's refreshing, and that's what I mean by indie games. Even Outlast, right?
Outlast.
How many games copy Outlast?
That was the scariest game I've ever played. I stopped playing. I could never finish the game. I got halfway through it when you were like in the basement where all those like the sewer, like the sewers, like the showers and everything were, and I was like, I'm done. I saw this dude rip this guy's head off, and I was like, I quit. I'm done. I mean, no joke.
I mean, it's so simple too, but it's so refreshing. I mean, if you think about it, you have a flashlight with a battery, or you have a camera with a battery. You have to find batteries, to keep your camera going.
It doesn't make sense because camcorder batteries are not AA's.
Some of them might be.
No,
we don't know that for sure.
I'm pretty sure that
there's probably one out there.
There's probably one, and it happens to be that guy's. It happens to be that guy that's investigating.
But it's really refreshing. I mean,
spoilers. He's investigating.
It's also a puzzle game, right? There's a lot of things you have to figure out and create in order to get to that different part. There's also a bigger story to it. So, I mean, I think that is very simple but very refreshing compared to. I mean, like we were saying earlier, a lot of games recycle because it's what's making money right now. Call of Duty will always recycle until they don't. Until people say we're not going to buy it anymore. But no, I mean, they have a very huge fan base. But and games like Dying Light are very refreshing.
Yeah, it's like a totally new experience.
Like especially the parkour, I think that was really a good way to go.
The last game I saw parkour in was like Mirror's Edge, which sucked. I hated that game.
It was really hard.
It was
really hard.
But it was too straightforward for me.
It was the early stages of that first person, the camera moves with like an actual head movement. Mm-hmm. So it was really rough at first. It was really hard to get used to. But I think what Dying Light is, it's not perfect, Mm-hmm. There's a couple things like glitching out and you don't catch a ledge or something like that, or the grappling hook doesn't work sometimes. But
right.
All in all, it's still a really, really good look at the first-person camera view.
Yeah. I mean, I think, I do think that indie games are new. There's a new frontier, basically, and indie devs are making the right moves. I think they're the ones that are going to take the market over.
They're listening to the gamers.
I mean, most of the indie games are free, or they're like $2 or $5.
The most expensive one I've seen was $19, right?
Yeah, it was $20. That's the most expensive indie game I've ever seen. Yeah, that's after it was off of PS Plus.
It was like $20 on it.
Yeah, it's $20. I mean, those games are nuts. Like they're taking all the steps that all these AAA companies that you pay money for. Like you pay $60 plus all of their DLC plus all their season passes. I mean, you could spend like $80 on a game and it's nothing. It's crap.
Yeah.
I think it's ridiculous. I think every game should aspire to be new.
Yeah. I think No Man's Land is the first.
Like we're working on a game now. I mean, spoilers. Not even spoilers. It's like barely in production. I mean, we have mechanics and everything down, but I mean, it's just going to be a simple game. I mean, we're not trying to do anything crazy with it. But I mean, I think like looking at games like Journey and looking at games like Flower and Outlast and Resogun and
No Man's Sky.
Like Eddie's always on Binding of Isaac, which is like a weird game. But like, look at that game. It's an MLG game now. Yeah. Tournaments,
exactly.
I think indie is the new way to go. I don't know if these big AAA games are going to be worth the. I know they sell consoles. Those are the things that sell consoles. Is like, oh, what game is coming out next week, or what game is going to be bundled with my Xbox or my PlayStation. Exactly. You know what I mean?
Exclusives.
Yeah. These are the things that sell the consoles. But I think indie games are what keeps the consoles going, so that nobody trades them in.
And I also think if AAA game comes just smart like Activision, they'll start they will start helping these indie guys make their games greater. Because imagine if Resogun had a $1 million budget. You know what I mean? How vast the worlds could be, or how the enemies would look, the ships, whatever.
I mean, that game's only like 5 levels, well, before the DLC.
Yeah, it's like 6 or 5.
And it just gets progressively harder and harder.
It is really difficult.
It's super hard. If you start on easy, it ends in like extra hard.
If you start on hard,
if you start on hard and it ends in like you gotta quit.
And what the bosses are really creative, right? They spin around. There's only like
and there's like certain like pressure points you have to like shoot so that you can get into certain pieces of the armor and then shoot the armor.
Yeah, spoilers. It's really creative.
If you haven't played Resogun.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry. I don't really care.
Skadoosh.
That's what I say.
But I mean, in the end, AAA games, game developers are going to have to start helping these indie gamers out and giving them the chance. You know, that's what indie games right? Indie games are refreshing. They have new ideas. What was it? Like E3 last year. Me and Garrett were there, and we went to the indie booth for a little bit, and we got to play this game that had to do with music. I forget what it's called. It's called. It was kind of like a Resogun style. You had like a little ship. You were shooting enemies, but based on the song you were playing you attached to it, it would go with the beat. So the enemies would get progressively harder based on the song you were playing.
I remember that game. I
don't
remember what the name of it was, but I do remember that game.
Very cool, and I think it came out on the Ouya first. They developed it for the Ouya.
It did. It's on Ouya now. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was. I thought that was really crazy. What he did was we were there where he was playing a dubstep. song.
Oh yeah, and like the dubstep, it was when Ouya was like banned from E3, and they had to go to the parking lot outside.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Last year.
So yeah, it's basically like each enemy was like when you could only shoot when the beat drops.
Exactly.
Like when the beat was like building up, like the enemies were like spawning and coming out.
Kind of like eating a thing from Pac-Man.
Yeah.
You can only kill them at certain points when the beat drops, so you really had to like.
Yeah. So it's like down,
and then the whole environment would change and vibrate based on the song. It was really cool. That was really refreshing.
That's on Ouya now.
Yeah,
really good. I've actually only played a few games on my Ouya because I got one last year and I got a few of the games. There's this one where it's basically like it's called Bomb Runners or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what the name of it was, but it's 8-player multiplayer, which is nuts. Single player it gets crazy, but it's basically like a 3D Bomberman arena. So you just chuck bombs at each other. Like that's all it is. I mean, it's fun. It's fun. I mean, it doesn't. Simple. It requires you to do nothing but just sit there and laugh. I mean, literally, like all you're doing is like, he's like, oh, stick bomb, oh, you did. You know, it's like I think that's nuts. I think that's a good, like that's amazing. You know.
I think, So I mean. Yeah, and then what about all these new consoles that are coming out? What do you think about like the Alienware console or the Apple console?
Oh, you mean like the Steam boxes?
Steam boxes. Yeah.
I think they're just the glorified
PC.
Like PC. That's it. Like you want a square PC, you want a rectangle PC, like, or do you want one that just sits on your floor? That's all it comes down to for me.
Yeah, I mean.
Because I have Steam, I have Origin, I have new Alienware. You know, I don't need these boxes. I got Xbox One, I got a Wii U, I have a PS4, you know, and I have an Ouya. I don't need all this stuff.
I think PC gamers.
I've got a game stick, and nobody knows about game stick.
If you're a true PC gamer anyway, you're gonna create your own PC if you're gonna game on it anyway, right?
Yeah, totally.
You're gonna customize it yourself anyway. So I think these boxes are not gonna take off. That's my opinion. I think there's just another way of Alienware and Apple to try to make more money because. Steam came out with their box, you know, so it's just another console race they're trying to create, which is not. I don't think it's gonna work because people like their PCs the way they are, and it's probably locked in like locked software. You know?
Oh, you mean like it's only? I think it's not. I think it's mostly from what I've seen from screenshots. There's some basic PC elements to it, but you do have to plug in like a keyboard for it. But other than that, it's mostly. Steam. It's only Steam, I think.
Which is kind of weird.
I can't speak for it because it's too expensive for me. It's like $800 for a freaking box, and they go off like different processors, and like i6, i4. You can get an i3. Oh, i3. You sold it my phone. Noob. Yeah, right. Look at this noob over here with this i3 Steam box.
Not even. I mean, I think a lot of those new machines are too expensive though too. So
I
mean, VR headsets are what $1,500.
I mean, that's for like a developer model though.
Yeah, but I mean, still, how much is Google Glass when it came out? $1,500, $2,000?
It's still like $1,500, exactly. or for the developer.
How many people have you seen walking around with those? I've seen maybe 2.
I've seen like 3 or 4
in like 8 months. Like
I think it's for select people only.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it's like it's too expensive. I don't think the average gamer or the developer is ready to spend $1,500 on something they can wear and develop. Yeah,
I think I do think that everyone is going towards more free platforms or more like a lot cheaper. Yeah, like I'm saying, like the indie games. Like if I can't play an indie game for free or for
$5
or for like under $20, I'm not gonna play it. I mean, AAA games already kill the pocket. You know, they kill
$65. With tax.
Yeah, 65 with tax, and it's like, I don't know. And there's nothing new. It's all the same recycled mechanics. If I want to play something new, you just go to Steam, or you go to the PSN. PlayStation store or the Xbox store, and go to their indie section, their ID at Microsoft section, or their Indiegogo platform on PlayStation.
Yeah, I think PlayStation is really going really nuts with the indie games.
Yeah, they're like the big front runner. I mean, they have their own dedicated platform for indies at E3. Like there's just like 30 minutes like here indies go. You know what I mean? Like exactly. And they showed like Secret Ponchos. That's another good game. Like that good. Western, like the spaghetti Western
isometric shooter.
ISO shooter. Yeah,
you can customize them too, right?
Yeah, and you can customize your shooter and you customize your guns. And they just released, I think, their 5th character in the game, and it's just like those are those games are special. You know what I mean? Like like those are like, here's a present. You know, like open it up. It's not like you're gonna be like, oh, this game. I'm just buying it because my friends are buying it. It's more like Like, I want a new experience.
And it's also, I mean, PlayStation is also giving indie gamers free publicity, right? They're giving their games out for free every month, which is like, exactly. You know what? I don't want to pay for this game. I don't know what it is, but I get it for free and might as well play it. Yeah. And then it gets like exposure, you know, like Secret Ponchos, right? When I played it, it was for free. I got it for free on PlayStation Network. Yeah, for PlayStation Plus. Yeah, it was a free game of the month. So when I played it, I was like, you know, I might as well play it. It's free. I downloaded it, and it was really good. And it's like that's how your game takes off. A lot of indie games try to come out on their own and charge money for it when no one's even heard of them. So it's kind of hard for indies, as we know.
I know, right? Like, we have our app game, like us. Me, Nick, and one other guy from our school. We developed an app game. I mean,
in 3 months.
In 3 months, it's called Aquius, Aquius. If you want to go check it out, I mean,
it's free.
It's free at the App Store on iOS. It's only for like iPhones and iPods, nothing on the iPad. But still, I mean, that game was it's kind of like a Mario 64 game, you know. We developed that, and we've gotten reviews on it. It's a 5-star game already on App Store. I mean, yeah, you didn't know that? It's 5 stars, dude.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no joke. And there's not that many reviews on it. There's like maybe 10 reviews. But I mean, there's probably who knows how many other people are downloading the game. You know, I don't know.
I thought it was like a 3-star.
But I thought it was gonna be 2.
Yeah, like a 3-star.
Yeah, we are not too impressed with our own game. But I mean, that's because we wanted to do it. Yeah, because we wanted to do more of it. That's not telling you not to go download it. It's free.
Download it now.
Go download it. I mean,
Please.
You can.
It's free.
You can, it's free.
It costs 0 pesos, okay?
0 pesos. Like not even CAD. Like not even Canadian dollars.
Just check it out.
It's
write
free.
us a review, regardless of the review star. It doesn't matter.
I know. We're just trying to get it out there. Yeah, we did that. We're working on a new game now. Should we talk about the name of the game?
I think you should announce the
name
of the game.
Well, we're working on a new game right now. It's just an exploration game, a simple game. And it's going to be episodic. I don't know, however you want to say it. It's going to be in episodes, but it's going to be like just an exploration game, like a post-apocalyptic exploration game, and it's going to be called The Traveler. And that's going to be probably just PC only.
We probably have to ask the Traveler Master. We can use
the Travel Master.
We have to
Travel
ask
Master.
We should probably ask him before we release it.
Nah, that was in Sweden.
Still.
All right, I don't know. So yeah, but that's gonna be our game. It's gonna be coming out on PC probably. It's the easiest.
Or Ouya.
Or Ouya if we can get to that. Because it's free to upload your game to that. It's just a matter of trying to figure out.
Bear with us. It's 2 guys creating a game, not a whole team.
I know. We had a developer meeting with 4 guys. And one disappeared, and the other one is not responding to us. He's MIA right now, so we don't know what's going on with Eddie there.
Ed Warner.
But yeah, I think that's been a good episode 1, the only and last episode 1.
Yeah.
So don't think that it's going to be the last episode. I mean, this is end of episode 1, but this is the only episode 1.
I think
there's not going to be episode 1.1. I mean, it's just episode 1.
Episode 2 is going to be a lot more polished, of course. I mean, it's our first.
This is our first podcast. I mean, we'll try to.
We'll make you guys laugh, and we'll have guests too. I think next time we'll bring Eddie in if he's alive.
If he's alive still.
I don't know where he's at.
Yeah, I mean, we'll just try to get different takes on what people think.
Boys.
Yeah, this is gonna be a fun adventure if we can actually get everything going and get the people. I mean, we'd love for everybody to tell their friends or whatever. I mean, this is gonna be an ongoing thing until we decide that we want to die. So tune in, guys. Tune in for the next podcast. I'm not sure. It might be weekly. It might be every other week. I don't know.
Also, in the comments below, leave us ideas on what you guys want us to talk about. Yeah, doesn't matter what the topic is.
Yeah, like what do you guys think we should discuss, or what should be the next topic, or whatever.
Yeah, we're vigorous airsoft players too. So if you guys want to talk about airsoft and the goodest guns to buy, reviews, whatever, we can do that too.
The greatest guns.
You
can find the good. you can find the goodest airsoft guns here.
No, but we're open to all suggestions. So
yeah. And we're starting up trying to get this a website or something started up and gonna get this uploaded to iTunes, and right now we're trying to figure out the iTunes thing because it's kind of complicated. But right now it's going to be on YouTube. And so, yeah, just like subscribe, like, share, please.
Yeah. Also in the comments below,
Don't be rude.
Let us know what your greatest letdown was of 2014.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Greatest
what is
game
the
letdown.
Greatest letdown you've ever experienced in 2014? Because I'm telling you right now,
game wise, not like
not like my mom left me here at this park. No, I mean
game wise.
Yeah, whatever your biggest letdown video game wise was. Just let us know.
Pop in a comment.
Yeah, just drop a comment, drop a like, drop a subscribe. And yeah, this has been episode 1 of Pretend Bread Boys. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and there'll be more to come.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Till next time. See you guys later.
Yep.
Peace.
IGN what?